UConn, in the Big East for basketball, winning national championships, they're probably fine. Their football program, I wouldn't be surprised if it's in the red at this point. Not very good at football, independent, no conference, off-campus stadium. I just, ugh. That's my most professional opinion is, ugh. So, something came through. It is the most tectonic plate shifting move of 2024. The first conference realignment move. It is an unbelievable thing to consider. It's UMass, baby. I wish I could pull this up faster because that would have gone a little bit more smooth. But bam, here we go. UMass is set to become the 13th member of the MAC for the 2025-2026. Remember here, they dated back 2012, 13, 14, and 15. As a matter of fact, NCAA football 2014, UMass was in the MAC, and it was an oblong number. It was six on one side, 7 on the other. It's kind of a weird spot there. But basically, the University of Massachusetts is set to join the MAC in all applicable sports for the 2025-2026 year, according to a source that told ESPN. They are an independent in football, but plays in the A10 in basketball and the vast majority of their other sports. UMass's hockey will remain in the Hockey East, as the MAC does not have a hockey league. The MAC presidents voted UMass in on Monday. The school had formally applied to the league. The timing of an announcement is not known, but UMass is set to accept and finalize the details of an arrangement in the near future. Once the school formally applies in conference realignment, there's usually an understanding that they will be accepted and enter the league. UMass had been engaged with Conference USA per sources. Ultimately, the MAC made more geographic sense, and it also houses more of the sports that UMass offers. UMass AD Ryan Bamford made clear in recent comments that joining a league was a priority for UMass. That sentence right there is gigantic for a couple of reasons. We'll get into those here in a second. The move to UMass will leave Notre Dame and Connecticut as the lone independents in college football, with Army set to join the American Athletic Conference in the upcoming season. Think about that. We're going to get in that here in a second, so check that out. First of all, let's go through the geographic sense-making of the MAC adding UMass, because there is some to it. And a lot of people say, oh, this makes no sense at all. Okay, here you go. Check this out. It's a little dim for you, but you can see this here, that here is the MAC. Okay, we've got Buffalo here. We've got Ohio, Kent State and Akron. We've got, Toledo and Bowling Green, Eastern Michigan, Central Michigan, Western Michigan, Northern Illinois. We've got Ball State, and then we have Miami, Ohio. Boom. Look at how good. Anyways, that's where all these teams are. They all fit within this little circle here. UMass is right here. They're right about this H of Massachusetts. This H just to the right of this highway right here. That's where they're at. So it's still going to be a reasonable trip, but not too bad for them. They play football. They're going to play 8 conference games, 9 conference games, whatever it is. They're going to play right there. So it makes some sense in that respect. However, remember that important line that we talked about here in terms of the lone independent teams in college football. So first thing we're going to do really quickly here is we're going to go to the 2022 season. All right, the 2022 season. So we've got our FBS Independents in 2022. We got Notre Dame. We got Liberty. We got BYU. We got New Mexico State, Army, UConn, and UMass as well. So that's in 2022. We have 7 teams that are independents. Okay, that's fine. That's a good number. So 7 in 1 year. However, we take 1 more year into the future, and we have 4. So 3 of those are gone. So Liberty, gone to Conference USA. New Mexico State, gone to Conference USA. As a matter of fact, both of them played in the conference championship for Conference USA. And then BYU entered into the Big 12. They're also being joined by Colorado, Arizona, and Utah as well. So again, good matchup there. It's a good addition to it, and Arizona State as well. I apologize. So we see that here. Army is entering into the American. Now they're entering in the American, but they're only going to play Navy as a non-conference member. I can talk about that later on. But then UMass is entering into the Mid-American. They're coming down here. So they're probably going to enter into the East. Now, again, what a good point is they don't have to have 14 members, but it's not out of the realm of possibilities. They could add a 14 member. Whether or not UMass has the ability to add somebody, I don't know. I mean, they could maybe come down here to the Sun Belt. I don't think any of those teams are leaving. If we go to the Conference USA, I know that Western Kentucky and Mid-Tennessee State. Those teams had talked to them back. But again, whether or not they do it or not, I don't know. I mean, Liberty's close by. We'll see what the MAC can do. Again, Tuesday night action, we might be getting ourselves going a little bit farther south for a couple of those teams. But again, right now, UConn and Notre Dame are the only ones left, because what's happening here, and I think what's happening is the strength of adding in a team into a conference. You saw the fact that it just solves so many things for UMass. They want to get this thing done. UConn is different. UConn's a national championship level team in college basketball and a couple other sports too. Now, their football team, they're all right. They're independent. Stadium's off campus. It's kind of a weird mixture there. So the question is I think what's going to happen here is UConn's going to pick a conference. Now, you come over here to the American. The American, I think they're going to lose SMU, obviously, but they're still going to have Memphis. A couple of the other, South Florida, Kayshawn Pryor, my boy from Boise State. He's in the league too. And then you see they have Navy. They also are going to have Army as well. Now, again, I think that some of those are only going to be for football only. So UConn would still be kind of a weird member there. They could probably join the American for football only in the same way that Navy only plays in the football only there. We see the fact that Army is only going to play football only there. It could be an option for them. The real question with that, what happens with Notre Dame? I think that Notre Dame, of all the teams, can handle this one. UMass is not a big market team. I know that you're like, oh, yeah, well, Massachusetts, big states, the University of Massachusetts. Well, I don't know how much of a draw they are, per se. I know that Army is a draw just because a lot of people in the Army watch them. Navy, too. UConn has a really good basketball program. We'll see what happens with the football program. We'll see what they can do that. But I do think that now there's only 2 FBS football independents, Notre Dame and UConn. There's lots of pressure, especially financial pressure. I think that UConn isn't as much. Notre Dame is not in the financial pressure. Now, like I said, we'll see what happens in the future. I think Notre Dame, first of all, I think they're like, listen, we haven't finished top 5 in the regular season in a while, so we're not really worried about not getting that first round bye in the playoffs. Besides, worst comes to worst, we're just going to host a playoff game if we get in, more than likely. So for Notre Dame, I don't think this is going to be the beginning of the end of the FBS Independent, but I am trying to say that you have to have certain things in place to be an FBS Independent and handle it. UConn, in the Big East for basketball, winning national championships, they're probably fine. Their football program, I wouldn't be surprised if it's in the red at this point. Now, I know that they can supplement it elsewhere, but like I said, not very good at football, independent, no conference, off-campus stadium. I just, ugh. That's my most professional opinion is, ugh. It's the best I can do. Notre Dame has a conference, the ACC. Whether or not they feel like they belong in the ACC in football, what could be interesting here? Florida State is trying to figure their way out of the league. Now, what if Notre Dame tried to say to the league, all right, here's the deal. We'll join you guys in football. We want uneven payouts. Florida State says, okay, we'll do that. We'll stay in the league if we can do that. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I am trying to say that I think that the FBS's independents are all going to go away at some point. How soon? I don't know. But I'm thinking that we're already seeing the smaller ones go away, and that added pressure from the fact that, you got to have a lot of things in place. I think that of all the teams that have those things in place, Notre Dame's one of them. Notre Dame's fine on money, but I don't know. That's all I'm going to say. I'm just going to say, I don't know. Appreciate it, my friend. And remember, guys, if you guys want to see something, let me know. But that'll be it for me, guys. I will see you guys later. I am